The Crash Course Live is presented by
Smash It Demolition Derby, who host Bash for Cash, Blizzard Bash, and Capital City Carnage. Online at smashitderby.com. And Stirrin Dirt Racing, hosts of Maymania's team show at the Golden Spike Arena in Ogden, Utah. Online at stirrindirtracing.com.
Reckless Abandon Derby Apparel and Derby Inc. Magazine. This is the Crash Course Demolition Derby podcast, recorded live at the FingerLakes1.com studios in downtown Seneca Falls, New York. And now your host, Chris Marquardt.
All right, episode number 190 on deck for the Crash Course. Got a stacked show on deck for everybody. Welcome to the Crash Course on a Tuesday after we had a little bit of travel time to make it home from Utah. Had a great time out there with Johnny Gullo, Jerry, hanging out with Dalton for a little while, and had a chance to see a ton of the countryside that we wouldn't have ever seen otherwise. Dylan, Lane, Rachel were hanging out with us all weekend for Dylan's first trip behind the microphone. Very skilled driver, and he did just fine with a microphone as well. So appreciate all that. This episode, Ben in the studio here with us. Brian had a meeting, and this episode being dedicated both to Josh Decker's family and Tom Decker, who passed away. Funeral services for Josh's grandfather being held today, so he wasn't able to be with us. I know he wanted to get up here and talk a little bit about the stuff that he saw. He was busy in Dunkirk for the weekend on Sunday, announcing, carrying the duties up there. And typical Decker fashion, there was a lady in the front row that heckled him the whole time. Told him, we don't care what you think, we don't care what you know, we don't care what kind of car it is. Poor Josh. But anyway, he had a good time. He said he'd never been up there, and it was really relaxing. It was a different atmosphere for him completely, and got a chance to see a bunch of guys he'd never seen run before drive. Good results up there. We're going to be talking with Cory Near a little bit later on, following up on his win. Second time that he's won it since, I believe, dating back to 2014, and in 2015 he was second place to Jimmy Ellman. So not a bad stretch of luck right there for Cory Near, and that's not an easy place to it's not an easy place to repeat at. Not only that, but it's not an easy place to find good luck, because once you win once, the crosshairs are pretty firmly put upon you. We're going to be talking a little bit about spinning wheels too coming up this week. We've got some upcoming events with Dunkirk in September already. Woodstock's right around the corner. Stirrin Dirt, they're off until August. We're going to get into all that. Ben, you had a chance to get out there in Utah, traveled on a little bit of a different schedule than us, and kept some different hours than we did as a whole. You spent so much time under the cars, both before the event on Friday and Saturday, and then after the event on Saturday. Ended up coming out well, and unfortunately you gave away one of the East Coast tricks when you started drilling rocker panels on those Mopars.
Yeah, I got heckled a little bit from the sideline too, so Josh wasn't the only one, but, he basically, hey, you guys, them guys don't know no better out here to do that. I'm like, well, I says, at least you're giving them ideas. Well, if I'm giving them ideas, then they better not do it because they know I'm going to drill it, So, no, the crew, once again, I mean, I thanked Johnny before I left. I thanked him and Gumby and Jerry and the whole crew for letting me be part of it. Part of tech. I really love it. I get excited every time I get ready to go out there. This time around, it was a little different from Maymania. I mean, the cars, there's a lot of one-time over-the-ramp cars.
Scott Mannering went through on the first try.
Didn't have to fix anything. And pretty much we got nicknamed the Ramp Nazis. So
I see a T-shirt in your future, sir.
Yeah. But no, overall, great weekend. Great weekend. Guys, the drivers, we thank the drivers for doing what they did and to show up and for, them respecting the build and kind of respecting Stirrin Dirt and the tech guys, and really had no issues. And
there was a driver that was very quick to compliment Stirrin Dirt as a whole on the event. Charles Keller in the Black El Camino was online, speaking very highly. Nick Wolf speaking very highly. Brad Bowman, of course, he was excited about it. Derek Shelley.
A lot of the big name drivers are loving it and loving the direction that everything's going and are showing continued support. I mean, for future support. And I'm not from out that way, but I guess that's huge. So, like I said, I'm very fortunate to be able to go out there and very excited to the next one.
Are you going back out?
know?
Are you going back out for the state fair?
I told Johnny I'd have to get back to him because I got to check dates.
Right.
Because I got Mark asked me if I would jump in at King's Old School for the September show, but I wasn't sure what the dates were. But we'll see if stuff aligns. If stuff aligns, for sure. I mean, I really love going out there. I mean, the sunburn kind of sucks, but that's my own fault. You know.
Johnny Gullo was given one of those compliments that we alluded to. Johnny is joining us on the hotline right now. He was in the middle of being given one of those show compliments about how great the show was, and they had 22 cars start the main, which was more cars than Heber City had at their show last year as a whole. So everybody was quick to compliment the quality of the show, and Johnny deferred it in a pretty classy way. He said, "We're just here to organize it. We want to make sure the show goes smooth, and it's the driver's decision on whether they want to make a good show or not." And there was some apprehension by some people on the sidelines, thinking it was going to turn into a bag fest with $91,000 being paid out and $25,000 being paid out to win.
It was far from a bag fest.
Didn't happen at all.
I mean, the amount of money that them guys dished out in Mad Dog bonuses was astronomical, and I mean, those guys kicked it up a notch. They stepped it up. I mean, the heat of the night, they had the most rollovers. You know, I missed it because we were reteching the money cars in the features. So I got to get back on and watch it. I'll be watching it on the Derby Nation TV and watching it back and seeing what that heat was. But people said that was a crazy heat.
It was awesome. It was a great one, for sure. Johnny joining us on the hotline. From your perspective, man, how was the weekend?
I said it on Facebook. Wow, I got nothing. It was amazing, and like you said, the bagging that wasn't even in the ballpark. I don't even think there was a bagger within 10 states.
There was the feature shook out, and we talked about it a little bit. How is Utah going to work with Utah, or is Utah? Are they going to sustain the ceasefire that sort of held around, or is Utah going to go after the outsiders? And there was 10 cars from Utah in the pits that signed up. All 10 made the feature. There was 11 cars from out of town, and one of them we didn't have a hometown for. So it was a pretty even split. And you know, Nick Wolf decided to hit everybody that was within the crosshairs, whether it was front, rear, side, corner, whatever.
Yeah, it didn't matter what way he was lined up with them or what way they were lined up with him. He just point and shoot, point and shoot, point and shoot. And I mean, he was knocking the fillings out of people. I mean, it was crazy.
Brad Bowman was gaining as much speed as he could before he made hits, and once he picked the car he was going to light up, he lit them up till they were done. And that the fight that he had with Randy Mikowski was incredible. Mikowski had that front wheel laid over early, and drove a long time. We'll go through the results for everybody. First place, Clay Stewart. We're going to be talking to him in a little bit from Hefton, Utah. Randy Mikowski was second place. Third place, Brad Bowman. Mad Dog went to Nick Wolf, and fourth place, Case Barker, moving up through the ranks because there was some issues with a couple of the cars in the post-race tech stuff. The rules were the rules. The opportunities to ask questions were given. It was nothing that was Nothing that was left that was up in the air. I mean, everything was clean cut and was addressed. The issues we had, it was 100% addressed at the drivers' meeting, and Johnny and Gumby and them gave the drivers extra time after that to, if they had any doubts, any suspicions, anything, that extra time to come get the officials and get their questions answered and remedied. So they had the opportunity that most promoters wouldn't do that, and that's why these guys they keep jumping and higher and higher and higher on the food chain. They're almost to the shark status. So, John, what did you think overall? I know you said you alluded to it being a wow type show. The turnout seemed like it was pretty good, and seemed like the fair was ready to sign next year's contract right as soon as the checkered flag flew over the final event on the track.
Amazing to work with. It's our first time in that venue. They wanted it to be a success, and they showed they wanted it to be a success. And I said, if we come back next year, and they said, there is no if. So, okay, guess we're coming back. But I think it was great because I got to give hats off to the Passmores all the way from Kentucky that came out, limped into the arena with their truck transmission dragging on the ground on Thursday, and stayed almost. They had a hotel, but I don't know if they ever left the arena to fix the truck, fix the cars, and everything else. And here I thought, I think it's BJ was the son. He got caught out on time in both heats, the heat and the garage, and wasn't happy. And his dad qualified for the main. And even he turned to the Utah or the Wasatch County guys afterwards and says, "We've never been treated better by any show. We'll be back, and we're bringing 6 more cars."
Yep.
I'm like, if that doesn't tell you how the show went, nothing does.
And his weekend, and possibly the truck repair was rallied pretty strongly by the Wipeout, which 6 cars came out for the Wipeout, which was held after the main event, after the fireworks. 6 more cars came out that were left over, band-aided back together, and he finished second in that. He got a rollover. He put Mike Kuhn on his roof in that wagon, and then there was 3 of the 6 cars in the Wipeout were eliminated by the rollover. And he had that nose so stretched out. it was a great finish. The Wipeout itself, there was a tie for first. Tyson Shelley and BJ Passmore tying for first place. And then Josh Wilson coming back for third place overall in the Blue El Camino. Charles Keller ended up on his roof during that, caught the side of a bumper and ended up going over. Soup had a rollover earlier in the weekend in that 1956 Lincoln, 56-57 Lincoln. The back end opened up and turned into a shovel, and he got the corner of the Byron Northcutt car and flipped it over. That was the car that crashed into the announcer's position, the live stream table,
the wagon,
on qualifying night. And then there was, I think it was his
Byron
kid that
did not have a good.
What's that?
Byron did not have a good weekend. He got on the wall once by himself into you guys.
Yep.
We took it off the wall for safety, put it in the arena. He left the arena. His car went back up on the wall from another hit from other cars. I think it was Bowman and Mannering. So we got it took more damage on the second hit when he wasn't in the car. Then he went and fixed it, came out for the grudge, and I think he ended up on the wall again.
Yep.
And then he came out in the Wipeout and got rolled over off the bat.
Yeah. He got a bad weekend on that one.
His car looks pretty fresh.
Yeah.
Didn't look like it was hurt much. Didn't get to use it. Also, more winners. J.D. Sessions coming away with the win in the stock truck event from Heber, Utah. Anthony Tripler, second place there. Brandon Baker was third place. Mad Dog, worth $1,000. Anthony Tripler taking that home. Stock cars. Brody Mondragon in the X44 from Camas, $22.50 for his effort there. In that win, Mark Rummel was second. Cody Hardman was third. And Del Piper from Camas took home the Mad Dog honors in that one. That was a...
Oh, I'm telling you, Anthony Tripler, let me tell you what. When he come out on the track, I'm like, this is going to be a nasty heat. He took it to him. I mean, he was flat-footing. He was hitting everybody, every direction he could get. And then he came in for that one last shot and drove in so hard. You know, he got hung up and then he just buried himself. But man, I felt bad because I'm like, boy, he's gonna just tear this place apart and then just drive off the track, you know, in fist pumping. And but yeah, I gave him that. I mean, he drove the wheels off that truck for sure.
At the end, so that's why I couldn't go anymore. But all in all, guys, it was a tad bit warm. Ben's face will show that.
Yep.
It was a beautiful weekend in a beautiful valley, and like I told everyone else, they kept telling me, great show, and I said, I don't do that. I said, these guys out in the arena who put on the show, we just kind of guide them to give them an opportunity to do so, and they did so. It was amazing to watch those guys. I mean, the crowd was freaking nuts.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little, I mean, county fair type atmosphere with all the stuff the crowd was doing, but they were into it. I mean, they were into it in between the heats, after the heats, during the heats. They stuck around after the fireworks. I mean, they were just awesome. The crowd was awesome. Drivers are awesome. My inspection crew, all the Stirrin Dirt, my wife, everybody. I mean, I'm sure I missed some. Everybody but Butch Johnson. He kind of blew it. He's sitting right here, so.
Poor Butch. Man. Upcoming stuff for Stirrin Dirt Racing. September the 9th is the West Jordan Beatdown. Iron Trucks, Farm Trucks. There's a passenger derby, $30,000 purse for that one. September the 16th is the Day of Reckoning. That was the one that we were talking about with Ben a moment ago about getting out there to the new facility at the Utah State Fairgrounds in Salt Lake City. If you don't see it in September, Ben, it's okay because we're going to be back out there in October for Halloween Havoc. That's the Run What You Brung class. There's 3 or 4 different classes that are outlined right now. If they get a pile of cars and they got to add other heats, awesome, perfect. The more the merrier.
I will be at the new stadium.
Run that again.
Havoc will be at the new stadium also.
Okay. The Halloween Havoc event is you don't want to miss that because it's the barbecue afterwards. It's a bunch of one and done. The tech inspection is far lighter than what we saw this weekend, but it's a cleanup show. It's kind of going to be.
Yeah, I mean, you bring any car, like Johnny said before, bring your car, we'll fit it in somewhere. There's a place for it. So, but the barbecue, oh yeah, Jesse's, he's the man. Let me tell you, he is the man when it comes to barbecue. That's for sure.
Pulled pork Sundays, barbecue beans.
Yeah, you can take the pork and run over it with a bus. I'll take the beef that he cooks. That's up my alley there. But, you know, like you saved the pork chops for Gumby.
Wow. Is Gumby right there?
He's probably listening, and he probably just took his hat off and shook his head. But we had a good time. I mean, all around had a good time. Great weekend. I mean,
Ben, you're making the assumption that he's been able to leave church since Sunday.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
You think so? It wasn't as bad.
Yeah. It wasn't as bad. But no. I mean, it was just.
I got to stop and say, I don't know what Ben said earlier, but I got to give a hats off to the drivers. The inspections were just, what do we have, 5-6 cars pass on the first time, and those that had to fix things were very negligible.
Yep.
I think we started about 9:30, and we were done inspecting by noon, and that was 40 cars. Right?
Yeah.
Minus the guys that came in a little late because of work on Friday, but even the post-inspection, the stuff that was found, I didn't hear much bitching about anything. I mean, it was the guys were great. They were great to work with. Hats off to the drivers for putting on a show and building great cars. I mean, it couldn't have been any better.
And have you got the dates for next year set aside yet? Since you've had about 24 hours now to recover and decompress. You got all the entry forms already made out for next year?
I don't know. You guys kept me up drinking until Sunday at 1:00 in the morning again, so it was about 4 hours of sleep I got all weekend. But we are going to open registration for May Mania, I believe, on November 1st. For last year's November 7th for the new drivers. And May Mania's date is, let me pull a calendar up. I do believe it's going to be the 19th. I have to verify that, but I think it's the 19th.
What are the odds we can get it on the 13th? Ben doesn't know yet, but Ben doesn't know yet, but he's going to be taking all the equipment and doing that trip more solo than usual because I got a wedding that day.
Okay.
You better send it with autopilot because it's going to be hard to do from the tech line.
We got a lot of time to figure it out. We'll figure it out. I'm not worried about it. It'll be
we train Dylan this weekend? He's all good to go.
Dylan and Josh.
Yep.
There you go.
That'll work.
Dylan and Josh. Dylan, who doesn't speak 2 words, and Josh, who can't shut up. So.
Yes. we were with Dylan and Rachel quite a bit at the Derby and outside of it. And got to know them, more than the 2 hours that we get to spend with them in Topeka. It was cool. It was
a little bit different
really
situation. little bit different situation and atmosphere. Yeah.
Yes, very different, very different situation. Yep, definitely. Well, Johnny, is there anybody else that you want to make mention of? Anything else that we should hit on?
Well, I want to say, I'm sure there's people I miss them, but thanks to my wife and Tina for keeping us all in line, even at 4 a.m. when she was driving in and out, making sure our drunk asses got home. But keeping all the pits in order and doing all that, I can't do it without those two girls. And thank you guys. I mean, you guys are awesome. I think you are a magnet, though. That's 3 shows in a row. No matter where I put you, a car ends up in your lap.
I want to count it as 3 shows in a row, but I think that we should count it 4 nights. Because Brad Bowman, if he got hit, was coming over the wall on our lap. The back bumper was over the top of the wall at the other place where we were. And he never got hit and ended up getting off the wall. If he had come over that, he probably would have caught the very edge of that extra barrier that we put in and would have been well on his way to the table because he doesn't ever lift. Neither does anybody else, for that matter. If they got a hold of him and shoved him over, it was going to get interesting quick.
Well, people got to realize. I think a lot of that is they get tunnel vision. People got to realize we do not have a camera facing the track, so
not this weekend.
We'll put a memo out on that
in Ogden.
So yeah, but
we had a Facebook message.
No, dude, that makes my trip every time. You don't understand. I'm jumping up, fist pumping. I'm like, yes. I'm like, let's do it. Get him off, do it again, yeah. And I look over and Chris's face is like blank, and I'm like, okay, I'm the only one pumped for this.
I was just going to say the same thing. I looked over and frickin' Ben, I think if he could have cleared the arena, he would have. And Chris is like, you're in a headlight. Oh my God. And Ben's like, woo!
We are, all joking aside, we are extremely fortunate that the stage didn't collapse.
Oh, yeah.
If that stage had come apart when it got hit, then we would have been in some real trouble.
That was an HD stage package.
I guess. That was a tow package.
That was a tow package stage. So we used the fix-it plates on the stage. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, we got.
I do want to mention Dalton with Fast Films. He has put out there. He's got DVDs of the entire show for sale. If anyone wants to contact him.
Cool.
Yeah, he flew his drone up there right before the feature. That was pretty cool.
That was cool.
Getting a drone up and checking that. Them are awesome perspectives. Them drone perspectives, we've seen different people try them and during some of the YouTube videos and stuff, and people. It's just a totally awesome different perspective, and it definitely brings a different element for sure.
For those that haven't seen it, the on-demand links are active on DerbyNation.tv, so you can go in. If you just go to DerbyNation.tv, hit the replay button, you can find all the logins there. The 2-day packages are still available. If you had the show, you should still be able to log in and watch it that way. And that includes the other shows that we've done. You can find the re-air of Dunkirk qualifying night on Tuesday, and you can also find the Mandan Team Derby. And I didn't scroll down far enough, but I'm pretty sure I saw the Mania links up there still as well. If anybody wants to go back in and check any of those out to relive it, it's out there. It's one that you don't want to miss. It was an outstanding show. Congratulations out to Clay Stewart. We're going to be catching up with him here in just a minute or two. Johnny, you were saying something? I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, I said, especially if you turn it off early and miss that Wipeout, you got to go back and watch that one.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I plan on it.
Ben's going to go. He's going to take notes on what the front of that Chrysler looked like so we can tell him how to fix it next year.
6 cars fighting for $3,000 for a Wipeout.
Huh.
And it looked like they were racing for, $20,000. They were just going nuts.
They earned every bit of it with all the rollovers. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
They all did. I turned to Nick Wolf even afterward and said, Nick usually doesn't have a lot of good luck, but my God, did he put on a show at this one. And he, just between what he did between Mad Dog in the Heat, making the main, and Mad Dog in the main, he took home $7,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not a bad work.
No.
Perfect. Well, Johnny, man, we appreciate it. All the hospitality. We had a great time hanging out with you and your family there as the rest of the day. Sunday. Appreciate the vehicle to get up to the Salt Lake City Airport, and we're definitely looking forward to getting back out there for Halloween Havoc and doing it all again.
right. And hopefully we'll see Ben a little earlier for the state fair, and stay posted. We're going to be back bigger and better. Thanks, guys. Appreciate y'all.
Sounds
All right,
good.
man.
We'll
Thanks.
see you later. There goes Johnny Gullo with Stirrin Dirt Racing. We got to get started to show this earlier, and then I didn't come around to it as quickly as I would have liked to. September the 9th, West Jordan Beatdown, Iron Trucks, Farm Trucks, Passenger Derby, $30,000 purse. The Day of Reckoning, September 16th, Halloween Havoc, October the 7th. You don't need to see Johnny's tag. You can watch Stirrin Dirt. Find Stirrin Dirt Racing for more details on all of their upcoming shows. Spinning Wheels Productions, they are in action this weekend, so we're doing the podcast here tonight. Then we're going to head out on Thursday to do the Otsego County Fair, the Otsego County Fairgrounds in Morris. It'll be our second trip of the year up there. We did the Spring Fling earlier this year. They do not yet have the high-speed cables in place, and there is no Wi-Fi access. So the people
Unless you're on
asking,
top of the building.
I appreciate everybody asking and their interest, but this is one of them that if you really want to see it, you want to be there in person anyway, because they do drive so hard out there.
Mm-hmm.
Get their support, Spinning Wheels. They've got a show the 3rd, and they come back on the 6th. That's the Sunday. In between there, they're going to go to the Wayne County Fair in Honesdale at the Wayne County Fairgrounds. The GDS Fair, August the 25th in Newfoundland, Pennsylvania. September the 30th, they're going to be at the San Filippo Smash, back at the Otsego County Fairgrounds in Morris, New York. That's their entire 2017 schedule online, www.spinningwheelsproductions.com. Brookfield Wheel Days, it's another one that's coming up faster than we're probably ready for. September the 23rd is the date on that one. That's the week before the San Filippo Smash, 2017. Madison County Fairgrounds in Brookfield, New York, King Smash and Crash from Derby host the annual Fall Cleanup Show. The show's been part of our schedule dating back to 2011. We did the show live last year, and that was when I think it was an excavator unhooked broke one of the power cords in the middle of the show. I think that was the Derby that went to, that we did that at.
Yeah, I don't think it was an excavator, but the cord got unhooked. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
then the lights got shut. Then the lights got shut off.
I do remember that now. It wasn't the excavator because we were concerned with what the excavator was doing, so we put it someplace else, and then everything went. Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
John King, I'm sure he loves that story every time it comes up. Facebook.com, King Smash and Crash is where you can find him. If you got phone calls, 315-750-6956. Looking forward to getting back out there for that. So, the month of September.
There's a lot of shows.
If you go to Utah on September the 16th, we have the Lake Erie Rumble on the 9th. Then we have Utah on Lake Erie Rumble is going to be live. Utah at the State Fairgrounds. Then Brookfield Wheel Days, and then we're back with Spinning Wheels to close out the month. And then the week after Spinning Wheels, we're back in Utah for Halloween Havoc.
Because potentially I might have a lot of free time, so
that's good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
That your hand looked like it was fine over the weekend. It didn't look like it was bothering you at all. It didn't slow you down a bit.
Probably because we had like a GOT 45 cooler, 125 cooler out there, about the size of this desk that was full of ice water, and every chance I got, I was sticking my hand in it. So it's don't get me wrong, for not using it definitely was feeling it. So it's and every time I talk to try to get a timeline for the doctors, they're like, oh, it's going to be a while.
How's physical therapy? How was that yesterday?
It was rough.
I believe it.
It was rough.
Chaos in the Valley coming up on the 21st of October, so we're going to be home for about 2 weeks to watch a little bit of football. Then we go back down to Virginia. We're going to be in Virginia on the 24th, 25th, 26th at the end of August to set up our busy September. Excuse me, I had those dates incorrect. We're going to be down there for the 26th, 27th, and 28th in August. They have changed their schedule at the Woodstock Fair, the Shenandoah County Fair. The derbies are now Sunday and Monday versus Monday and Tuesday, so we're going to go down there a day early to see everybody and see how they're building it. And then we're going to be back down there again for Chaos in the Valley 2017. Class is now open to Imperials and hearses. The card includes the compacts, the stocks, the wealth-class trucks and vans. Shenandoah County Fairgrounds, Woodstock. Jump on the phone, 540-335-7510, 540-335-7510 for details on that one. Smash It Demolition Derbies, they have been busy as anything online. SmashItDerby.com, August 3rd, which is Thursday. In Wapakoneta, Ohio is All Glaze County Fair. 80s Wire Class, Street Stocks, Mini Cars, Power Wheels. Pike County is on the 4th. Piketon, Ohio, Smash It Class, Mini Cars, Street Stocks, Smash It Motors, Power Wheels, August 5th. Pike County and Piketon, it was second day for them. And that's the Cleanup Mod Class, Mini Cars, Smash It Motors, and Power Wheels, August the 5th. Same day is Gullo County in Gallipolis, Ohio, Smash It Class, Mild Weld, Mini Cars, Lawn Stock, Mowers, and Power Wheels. And the third show that they're hosting on the 5th of August is Preble County in Eaton, Ohio. Smash It Class, mini cars, street stocks, trucks. Preble County Old School. They've got their own old school rules. Smash It mowers and the Power Wheels. And Smash It also involved actively with Blizzard Bash, taking that over this year, blizzardbash.com. Blizzard Bash 2017 runs from November 8th through the 12th. November 8th is the pit party and the heat draw. November 9th is qualifying and national first round. Friday the 10th is the RC Derby. 6 o'clock is the start time for the national and qualifying team round 2 with the 14 to 17-year-old youth class. Saturday the 11th of November, 10 o'clock, it's the double card. 10 o'clock start for the compact and limited weld first round for those teams. And Power Wheels, all the Team B mains, the trucks, the youth, the bone stocks are on the schedule at 6 o'clock. Sunday the 12th, Championship Sunday, national qualifying, limited weld and compact team A mains. Looking forward to that one when we get out there in November. So basically, if you need us on the weekend, look on the internet, because we're not going to be at our houses.
I think I seen two.
The rest of the way through.
On the when I was on a computer, there's actually tickets for Blizzard Bash going on sale. Either
and that was the note I didn't write down. Thank you. Yes,
I can't remember exactly what day, but I think it's coming up pretty soon. But I know it's on the Facebook page, the Blizzard Bash page. So yeah, make sure if they're doing pre-sale tickets. Definitely get on there and get your tickets for sure.
Get in now.
Yeah, because they go.
Now. And also, if you don't have someplace to stay, bring a camper. Because you're not going to find one.
Yeah, either that or, you might have to shell out some money to double bunk with somebody. But
good luck finding a floor.
Oh, yeah.
Joining us on the line now is Clay Stewart. Congratulations, man. Come up with a win in the retro class. And at the Wasatch Wipeout in the $25,000 round. That win has got to mean a lot to you. You dedicated the run to your mom. She's suffering a little bit from ALS, and things were a struggle for you, as I understand it. But boy, this has got to make all that hard work and juggling your schedule back and forth to get the car done worth it.
Yeah, it was a rough week leading up to the Derby, so I didn't know how things were going to turn out, and I ended up getting lucky and coming away with the win, so I couldn't be happier.
The back end of that car, you took a funny shot on the right side, and the rail started to drop in the back. Was that a product of just getting caught by surprise because there's so many cars out there, or did you make the trunk, the top half of the car, too hard?
Yeah, well, we had a discussion about that, and I think the top half of the car was a little bit too hard without hump plates, and it just collapsed the humps.
Yeah. And after that, from your perspective, did you go on the defensive and try and protect that, or were you trying to be on the offensive so you were the one making the hits and you didn't really worry about the back end?
I actually didn't even know it was in the dirt, and I just kept using it and back and forth across the arena.
Ben, did he tell you how much he paid for that car?
I don't know. We Bobby and I talked to Clay quite a bit over the weekend, and Bobby's a Vic man, and those Lincolns. I mean, that's the difference between the Lincolns and the Vics. I mean, the bodies their rear quarters are so much stronger, and we gave Clay a couple tips, and it's like, hey, if it goes south, we're just giving you suggestions. So, we don't want to, Clay, hey, you guys are assholes. You told me to do something at the end of my car went down. But no, it was, we had a great time talking with Clay, and my hat's off to him. He drove a hell of a derby for the cars that were out there. Clay, he had a lot of people shocked because he went out there in the heats and he wasn't tilted at all, and he was hard. And I seen that, and instantly my wheels started rolling in my head, going, yeah, I might have done the same thing to utilize the fit, and then go out after the heat, and tilt it and use fix-it plates and stuff, and so. But no, I'm happy for him. I mean, he like I said, he drove his ass off.
Not to get too far off of the topic of Clay, you could tilt at the cross member, but not at the firewall.
Cross member,
only at the cross member.
Yeah, you could tilt at the cross member, and I just decided not to.
Yep.
I didn't want to do it, so
Clay, you said you're a big fan of those Lincolns. That was like I think if I remember right, it was a 91 Lincoln. And
yeah, 91.
And this one you spent how much money on?
was actually free.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And that was a clean free.
One of my neighbors says, get it off our property, and you can have it. So.
Yeah. Well, that's some bang for your buck right there, buddy.
Yes, it was.
That was, we were talking in inspection line before anybody even got into the top half. We were just standing there talking, and I was joking with Clay about how he was going to win, and then he started telling me the story, and my heart broke for him, telling me the story about his mom and some of the struggles that he'd had through the course of the week, and then he got this free car, and I was talking to, if it was you or if it was with Bryce, and I said that was the first step to his luck turning around. He's going to walk out of here with some money, and sure enough, when the stars align, they align. Yeah. Did all right. I was happy for her. Happy for you, Clay. Very happy.
We razzed him a little bit in post inspection, so he was a good sport, and we were all joking, and it was pretty light mood, and that was real nice,
Check that big will do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, check that big also make you nervous, because you're thinking to yourself, one day, what did I do? Did I do something? But no, Clay's a super stand up guy and real clean builds, and he's right in line with a lot of the other guys out there,
How many times did you count the fix-it plates around the side of the car just to make sure you didn't put one in the wrong place?
I actually only had 2 on one side and 3 on the other. So
yeah, he didn't even use them all.
Wow.
I knew I was pretty good there.
Yeah. Yep.
Take us through the feature a little bit. Brad Bowman, once it got down to the last, I want to say it got down to the last 4. And Brad ended up going after Derek Shelley, which left you to battle with Randy. And Randy's had such good luck. He won Utah State Fair last year, and then he won Mania with Junior Circuit. So he's definitely a guy that you don't want to take your attention off of. Were you content to let Brad do the work? How'd that feature play out from your perspective?
I don't know. I was actually fairly lucky because Brad had the car to beat. If he didn't lose a tranny, I think he'd have been very tough to beat.
Uh-oh.
He was just moving good and everything. And then his tranny went out, so then I just went to work on Randy, and there it was, I guess.
Randy is one of the toughest outs in Demolition Derby. I don't think anybody would argue with that. He is so hard to put out.
You just couldn't kill him. It just wouldn't die. It just kept moving back and forth.
Yep.
It was like the monster that lived in Ben's hotel. It just wouldn't die and go away. The horror movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did Ben tell you about Ben tell you about the place that he stayed in?
Oh,
what was that?
I can't. Everybody's saying, downtown, that's a dive. But you know what? Like I said, as long as the sheets are clean, the toilet works and the shower's hot, that's all that matters to me. I don't care if who runs the place. As long as I got the clean stuff. But
Bobby Brockway told me that
Bobby had problems with his.
The room that you guys were, the hotel that you guys were in, was basically the Utah equivalent of the Bates Motel. 2 little girls appeared at the end of the hall, asked him if he wanted to play, and they were scared away by the monster at the other end of the hall. That's how awful it was.
That might have been. He was in the upstairs room, so I was in the downstairs. But no, it's I can't complain about it. I mean, all my stuff works, so that's all.
And then Bobby had a nightmare trying to get the rental car too. They closed down. Did you hear?
Yeah, he told me the whole story. His bags got sent to Washington, and then when he was doing the baggage claim, the rental car place closed. So he had to wait, and finally got a ride, and then he got it all straightened out.
Then he was forced to be a dad a couple times because there's some other kids hanging around. It was bad. He had a
No, I don't know. He didn't tell me that. But Clay, that seemed like it got at the very end there. You were chunking like a steam engine. She seemed like she got a little hot at the end.
Yeah, she got a little hot, and I think my car. I think the float was too high because it was just dumping fuel, just choking it out at the end.
Yikes. Who was it that ended up running the heat?
It held on long enough.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. All it takes is just that one last shot. That's all I had to hold out for. But, yeah. Yep. I agree with you, too. I mean, Brad, he had a tough break there at the end with the transmission going because you're 100% right. He had a ton of car left.
He had a ton of car left. And how much difference is the mass between a 73 4-door Cadillac and a 1991 Crown?
He would have put Clay's rear bumper right under his wheels. That's for sure. I mean, but hey, you know what? We've seen it. I mean,
that's why the derbies aren't decided on paper.
Exactly. You can't vote before the feature for stuff.
Oh, here we go. What are you doing? We had some people. Clay, I don't know if you saw any of this. What we try to do is we try and get the fans involved a little bit and give them the opportunity to vote for their pick for Mad Dog. And due to our time crunch being live, I try to log as many of the names ahead of time, but there's no way to lock the poll and then unlock the poll so that people can't vote before the derby starts. So the online vote final standing counts as one vote towards Mad Dog, just like the crash course has a combined one vote towards Mad Dog, and then the judges have a couple, and then all the officials on the track have a couple. Before the feature started, the Passmore crew was leading by 115 votes for Mad Dog
before the cars even hit the track.
That's more people than we even had. I mean, it was crazy. So we got to find a way to streamline that process. There were some people that were pretty upset. No, it wasn't decided ahead of time. No, it wasn't a case where everybody was ignored. No, it was supposed to be something for fun. It turned into some stuff that people were arguing about, and that's not the point. I mean, it's not the point. We had more people voting for that feature when you look at the total up and down than we actually had watching. You know?
Yeah. We're not running numbers in Vegas. Not that serious.
However,
we could be. It's close. Vegas is close to Utah. Wouldn't that be something?
That would be cool.
That would be something.
That would be cool.
Get Vegas bets going on derbies. That could be a Mania thing.
We could run our own numbers.
Well, we could do that.
I suppose that'd be okay. I mean, what's the worst that could happen there? Illegal online gambling? How much time in jail is that?
You just don't do it online.
Good answer. Clay, what's up next for you?
2.5 weeks, Utah County.
Okay.
Will be my next show.
Nice.
What are you going to do with this car here? Is that just going to sit out in front of your house and let everybody know that's what a $25,000 car looks like?
No, actually, it is the car I'm running at Utah County.
Well, it's a lucky car. What's that show pay?
I'm gonna take it to Robbie Layton, and he's
put it on the frame machine.
Magic on the frame rack to bring the back end around.
Yep.
So
you can do it.
And Utah County, you can run kickers on 80s cars. So.
Oh, nice, nice.
That should help the front.
So he's going to get some more bang for his buck.
Yep. And what's Utah County pay?
I think it's $12,000.
There you go. That could be a $37,000 car.
Call us in a couple weeks. Let us know how you made out.
Yeah, we'll do.
Anybody that you want to make mention of before we call it a night?
Just all the Utah guys who were there, running hard and putting on a show. Basically, everybody there was running hard, putting on a show. I'd like to thank my wife for everything she's put up with, trying to get a car done and all the family stuff going on. So I love her. So, and that should be it, I think.
Clay, again, congratulations. Well deserved. Best of luck to you at Utah County. I hope this all comes together. That would be
awesome. Yeah.
Awesome deal. And we wish you the best as you work through that with your mom, man. I know that's hard. We're thinking of you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, guys.
You bet. We'll talk to you soon.
See you, Clay.
All right. We'll see you.
There goes Clay Stewart coming away with a win at the Wasatch Wipeout in the retro class. And ran great. And now he gets to put kickers in it.
Oh, it's awesome, dude. He's going to have that. That thing's going to be straightened around, bent around. It's going to be the way he wants it. And then he's going to be able to put kickers in it. And because I'm telling you, he's going to, I kind of stuck my foot in the mouth, but I did stick my foot in the mouth because anybody knows my track record. If I say somebody's going to win before the Derby, usually they have the worst luck in the world. And basically... So I kind of, usually the reverse. So I told Sam Bamdell, there ain't no way Clay Stewart's going to win. So, Bando probably got pissed. Mark Hart says, yeah, Stewart's going to win. But in all reality, I was using reverse psychology.
Oh.
But no, really, Clay, I mean, for the cars that are out there in Clay's car, he really, my hat's off to him because he drove and he deserved that win, and he should be proud 100%.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was an awesome run.
Cory Near joining us on the hotline. We wanted to hit on the Derby Dogs results real quick and work through that three-man pure stock compact feature. Rick Porty, Jerry Baird, and Eric Durda coming all the way in that one. Let's see, Pro Stock full size. Rick Clark won that event. This was at the Lake County Fair in Painesville, Ohio, with Demo Dog Demolition Derby Tour. I feel like I missed something there. There it is. Oh, Pure Stocks there. Pure Stock Compacts, that solo feature. Adam Merriman in the 23A came with a win over Dustin Spicer and Mark McEwen. And a real good one. We talked about Nick Wolf winning Mad Dog. Woodstock's coming up. Did you see Darren Brown? He refined his product. He's got that out there. So he's released a cradle now. So he's got some parts coming forward. Canandaigua, third place for Tommy Dowd, Andy Wolfanger, winning that show for the getting podium finishes for 2 years in a row now. He was second place to Ken Swingle last year, if memory serves correct, and now we got a win at Canandaigua. And that car that Tommy Dowd had, third place for the second year in a row for him there. And then they went back up to Dunkirk as well. In Dunkirk, Dave King, Tom Henderson, Brian Gonzalez, Evan King running the table, finishing 1, 2, 3, and 4 for that team in the compact class. I know everybody's shocked at that result. And Cory Near, who's joining us on the phone right now, Cory Near, coming away with his second win at the Chautauqua County Fair in Dunkirk. Impressive run out there. It came down to you, Pat Smith, Nate Smith. It's the same cast of characters that we see in the final rundown year after year. Which one was harder to win, man? Was it the one in 2014 or was it this one?
Hello guys, how you guys doing? It was definitely this one. This one was definitely a hard one to win.
The Smiths built some awesome cars on qualifying night. They were just sending stuff.
Is it the same Pat Smith that the old Pat Smith that used to run Dent and everything else with all them guys?
The same.
Yeah. That's some high caliber stuff right there. And Pat can drive. Flat out drive.
Nate inherited everything that he should have.
Oh yeah,
driver.
Genetic.
Yep. Oh yeah. Both those guys can definitely drive. They're definitely smart drivers all the way down to the end. They know what they're doing.
Walk us through the feature from your perspective, man.
Honestly, so I was out there. I was like, well, I'll be happy with the top 5 finish, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? Any Wolfgangers out there, awesome driver, awesome motor, you know. Todd Allman, awesome 03 and newer car that was out there. Yep. You know, I didn't even think I had a chance. Literally, I was going to be happy with a top 5 finish. I literally built that car with a bunch of help, and I got to give a big shout out to Saturday there. I had like 8 or 9 guys there. My dad, Jerry, my cousin, John Krupa, my girlfriend, Irene, Mike, Tim, Scott Manning, Scott Johnson, they all gave me a hand getting that thing together. I literally pulled that thing out of the fucking woods at, I think it was 10:30 in the morning on Thursday.
Wow. Yep. So that what happened to the LeSabre from Tuesday? Did that get run again, or is that all done?
That's all done. That's the thing. So Wednesday morning came. I'm like, you know, I was shocked that, you know, I qualified and everything. Mm-hmm. I wasn't even planning on actually even running Dunkirk at all.
Right.
Monday morning, my girlfriend's like, oh, you know, you bummed about not running? I'm like, yeah, a little bit. I have a car I can set up, you know. She's like, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, all right, well, I'm going to set up. So I shoot a text my dad, hey, Dad, I think I'm going to run Tuesday with the Buick. You know, he's like, really?
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So you decided to make the trip out. You came out and earned the qualifying spot, and I think there was only 4 cars in your qualifying heat. And as long as you stayed out of the way of the Smiths, you were going to be able to slip in as an underdog because those guys were just sending haymakers like crazy. You end up slipping into the feature. It was a tough battle, walking away with your second win out there. What is it that you pulled out of the weeds?
I pulled out actually. So Thursday morning, I talked to my cousin John Krupa, and I was like, "Hey, you want to sell that 01 Lincoln Town Car?" And that car was a complete car, bumper to bumper, motor tranny, complete car, not even stripped.
Wow. At 10:30 Saturday morning, and you made it to the show by 2:00 on Sunday, and ended up coming away with the win.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. Oh, yeah. There was a lot of sleepless nights. I think Sunday morning into Saturday. I think we finished up about 5:00 in the morning. Finally got it running and moving, and I still had to do some stuff in the morning on Sunday to button it up. But yeah, it was a lot of work.
That's great, though. I
You know,
mean, it's a great story.
Yeah, and it seems, I mean, it seems to not be so, what am I looking for? It seems to be a lot of guys that's a similar story. You know, that you seem to have the best of luck with the cars that you're just finishing up, you know what I mean, or your last minute builds or stuff like that. A lot of guys had some real good luck with builds like that. And for you to, like you said, I mean, for you to come away with beating them guys up there, I mean, that's definitely one you can probably run around the county with and say, yeah, I won that.
Pound for pound.
And yeah. And by the way, I built the car in a day and a half. You know, so you definitely got bragging rights for that one. That's for sure.
That's for sure. Yeah, as Chris was saying there about that Buick being run again, it probably could have been run again. I pulled it down, played it, whatever. I have another whole setup though in a car that's built not for those rules. So I was down to only that setup. So I had to strip Wednesday morning at about noon. I had to strip everything out of that car to put in another car Thursday. So I was like, oh man,
But it was worth it.
Yeah.
How did everything go? First year for Bob Head, I heard a lot of positive things online. Sounds like everything's going in the right direction. There's a couple folks in the hometown area that I want to talk to right now. So hopefully the people in Dunkirk right now have got their listening ears on. Be patient. Dunkirk has been immune in the last couple of years to the county fair fall off, and pound for pound, I think that Dunkirk is one of the best county fairs that we've gone to, and it continues to be that way. So just because the car turnout wasn't what it used to be, nowhere are the car counts what they used to be. And with Bob coming in with a new set of rules, there were a number of full-size drivers that went to the sidelines to wait and see what happened, to see what the rules were, to see what the inspection was like. And this isn't because Bob had paid me advertising. This isn't because anybody...
Dude, that's the norm anywhere you go. That's
the reason why I'm saying this is because you need to hear this. You need to hear this. You need to understand this. You need to be patient with it because you have something very good out there, and you continue to do so. I've been at all of the fairs and almost all the fall shows dating back to 2011. The shows out there are outstanding. The compact drivers are outstanding. And these are some of the most underrated drivers on a regional level that they're competing against to get to where they're at. So just give it time. When you see the Lake Erie Rumble, I think it's going to be better. And when we get to the fair next year, Bob's going to go through and soak up some of the leaks that were there this year. And the show's going to get better. The big cars are going to come back. They're building to a point where I think everybody's now comfortable and the rules are actually being enforced. So all the people before that were complaining that, everything's cheated and there's no rules and you can do whatever you want. Well, now you're complaining that there's no cars because everybody wanted to see how the rules were enforced. And you can't have it both ways. If you give it time, this will come back.
Yep, I agree. 110%. Yeah. Bob, he put on a really great show. It's going more towards the better way to go, more stock build, get more cars. There was some talk out there at the beer tent about, making more one run and dones like September and stuff, but is it even going the way? I'm not sure. But they definitely did a good job. The inspecting crew, awesome job. They literally spent at least 15 minutes per car inspecting. It was never that way before.
As well, they showed with the new rule book. We got to make sure everybody's on the same playing field, and I haven't seen anybody posting that they were loaded there. I didn't actually ask Bob directly if that was the case, but my understanding was that nobody got turned away and sent home. Everybody had the opportunity to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, they definitely did too. And as far as closing the gates and stuff too, they still gave them time. They told them pull them in, fix them, and then get a hold of one of the head inspectors to come clear you out. They gave everybody plenty of time.
Hey, real quick, how nice was it to have your truck and trailer on the infield?
Oh, awesome. Thank God. That is so great, and not having to walk all the way out to the infield, to have to go, get to your truck and trailer.
So with all the rule
It,
changes,
it was awesome that they finally allowed the trucks and trailers into the infield, not outside in the parking lot like it used to be.
Oh, I tell you, I mean, a lot of times, a lot of these places that have been deeply rooted in the same people, same every year, change is not a bad thing, and that's what it sounds like. What actually happened up there,
and I want to come back
change
to
over in some things, change over in the rules, change over in enforcement, and 100%. If I ran that show, that's old school shit there. People are going to, if something changes over the first year, they're definitely going to sit out and say, screw that, we're going to see how things roll out this year. If it pans out, then the next show we're there. You know, that's if people don't understand that, they're ignorant to the sport because they haven't been around it long enough.
I want to expand on something too, is that Dunkirk had last year, when we were going to local fairs that were getting car counts in the 20s, Dunkirk on qualifying night had 75 cars. No, they weren't all Imperials, but there were 75 cars there. Championship night, there were over 100. The year before that on qualifying night, this would be back in 2015. They had 82 cars on qualifying night and over 100 on feature night. And they don't have consolation rounds.
I mean, look at the demographic. I mean, look at the size of the area. You go all the way to the other side of the state, other end of the state, go up in Franklin County Fair. They cut off at 100 cars each night.
Right.
100 to 120 cars. So
and they have features both nights,
right? Yeah. Size-wise, demographic-wise, it's always, like you said, it's always been a consistent amount.
The night where your county fair used to have 200 cars. That's the story that we get when we're in Ohio, Virginia, Pennsylvania, New York, Utah.
Yeah.
Everybody has the same story. Dunkirk was immune to that for a long time, and I still think that they're on plenty healthy ground. And I don't want anybody to take this out of context either. I don't feel like I have to, but at the same time, I don't want anybody walking away feel like they were disrespected. I've got nothing bad to say about Rick Quark or the show that he put on. We worked with him, and we worked with Dave Bongiovanni out there for several years, and car counts were good, and the derbies were fun, and they were very entertaining to watch. There were some decisions that were made, whatever the contexts were, and Bob's in charge of it, and he's doing a good job. And I think everybody just needs to be a little bit more patient, a little bit more understanding, and they're going to enjoy the builds that they get, what they've got the opportunity to do. Could you put together a heavy welded car in a day and a half if this was the same rules as last year?
Oh yeah, yeah, no, totally different rules. But I agree with the way they're going with the rules, 110%. It makes the build a lot easier. I would never be able to build, even with 30 people, the car that I had 2 years ago that won Dunkirk, or the year before that took second. No. There's no way.
Yeah, there's not enough hours in the day.
Right. So.
No, not at all.
Awesome. You ran through a list of people that you thanked a little bit earlier. Was anybody that you wanted to catch in between there that we might have missed?
A big shout out to John Krupp, my cousin. Like I said, I bought the car off of him Thursday morning. He supplied me with a bunch of parts for the car and stuff, and gave me, a transmission and everything else. Like everything worked out really, really well. Big shout out to those guys: Mike, Tim, Scott Johnson, Scott Manning, all great bunch of group of guys. That came and gave me a hand on Saturday to get that car together. Because if it wasn't for them, there was no way I was going to make it. I literally was down to the minutes of trying to make it in there.
Where to from here? Where are you running next?
From here, I think I might possibly try and run September. And going back on that September, like you said, September, you were allowed to pull your trucks and trailers in. That's a big, awesome accomplishment that you're allowed to do that now at the Dunkirk Fair. Big shout out to Bob about having that allowed. That's awesome. You don't got to walk half a mile to go get your tools.
That's a big deal.
Nice change.
Yeah.
Well, Cory, man,
probably September. I'll definitely be there.
Awesome. September the 9th for the Lake Erie Rumble. That's the date. We're going to be out there. I hope we see you. And I don't think yet anybody has won both the fair and the Lake Erie Rumble in the same year. And I don't think it dates back into the early 80s that somebody's been able to win Chautauqua County Fair in consecutive years. And Cory's the first person that we've seen repeat as a winner on Championship Sunday for Dunkirk since we started going there in 2011. So this is a big accomplishment, and there's no pressure on, but I would like to see you win in September.
I'm going to try. I'll definitely give her a whirl.
Awesome. Cory, congratulations again. Well deserved. Great story to go with it. That's awesome. We wish you the best, and we'll see you in September.
Thank you, definitely, and thank you guys too. You guys put on an awesome show Tuesday and Sunday. You know, you and Josh Decker, awesome announcing. You know, it was a great year. You know, you guys did awesome.
Now that Josh has been there and everybody was telling him good job, he wants to go again.
Does he?
I'll try and talk him into coming up for September. Then Ben and Josh will both be there. It'll be good. We'll send Ben over to Tech Line.
Definitely. Oh yeah, definitely. That's the thing too. There's so many great drivers in this area that it's always an awesome show. You never know what's going to happen.
That's 100%. For sure. We saw Ron McClung, Devin Germain.
Dude,
they all showed up there. So it'll be good. Cory, man, appreciate it. We'll catch up with you soon.
All right, thank you. Yep, I'll definitely see you guys soon.
See ya. There goes.
Thank you guys for having me on.
You bet, Cory.
Yep.
There goes Cory Near, winner of the Chautauqua County Fair, Dunkirk, and again, Dave King, Brian Gonzalez, Tom Henderson, and Evan King. They won compacts, if you can believe it.
Isn't that a surprise? They're the force to be reckoned with. I'm telling you, it's just.
I was still fighting some jet lag today because we flew all day. We flew all day Monday to get home. We left Utah at 6 o'clock, and we didn't get home until this thing. I can't get it to stay up. Got to flatten this thing out. Turn it this way. That'll work. We left Utah at 6 o'clock, and then we didn't get home until 7 o'clock in New York, and we were pretty beat up. So
I did that the day before.
I was gonna dig out all of the old finish orders that got saved in the different memory boxes at home, all the different just remote hard drives that has all the files from the years before, and look up how many times that group has won the compacts, because I don't remember anybody other than them winning in our trips to Dunkirk. They're super good.
Yeah, they're awesome group of guys. Great guys to be around too.
Yes,
they're great derby drivers and great group of guys, and always have a lot of fun with them guys.
We're gonna have more information coming out in the coming days about both the February cruise and New Year's Eve, because New Year's Eve we're gonna work on rolling that out again, and then the cruise that we've got scheduled in February. It looks like we finalized some dates for that. We'll get some information from Johnny to share around, and we'll work on maybe trying to figure out a way to do a couple giveaways with that. So keep your ear to the track on that. If you're looking for something to do in December or in February, that would be a couple good options for you, a way to spend your February break. But that's going to do it for us. Another one in the books. Congratulations to all the winners. I think we hit on everything that we wanted to hit on. If we missed stuff, send me a message, and we'll catch up with it next week. But that'll do it. Oh, well wishes out to Tegan Wire and Cora K. He had a bunch of tests and stuff today. Had to have a spinal tap and some other blood work and stuff done. So hopefully that went smooth for him. I read someplace that he wanted to go fishing, but I wasn't paying attention to what days. If he had a spinal tap and wanted to go fishing, must be it went well. Yeah. So well wishes continue to go out to them for a speedy recovery. That's going to do it for episode number 190 in the books. We'll see everybody next Monday.
Crash Course Live is presented by
Smash It Demolition Derby, who host Bash for Cash, Blizzard Bash, and Capital City Carnage. Online at smashitderby.com. And Stirrin Dirt Racing, host of Maymania's team show at the Golden Spike Arena in Ogden, Utah. Online at stirrindirtracing.com.
Reckless Abandon Derby Apparel, and Derby Inc. Magazine. This is the Crash Course Demolition Derby podcast, recorded live at the FingerLakes1.com studios in downtown Seneca Falls, New York.